So, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jonnychipz Weekly. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and today is Friday, the 23rd of September, 2022. We've got some good Azure news and updates for you this week, so let's jump on in. This one's called Core. So yeah, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great week in work or whatever you've been up to this week. Hope it's been great for you. Yeah, it's Friday again. Time for another Jonnychipz Weekly. Before I start, just want to say I have gone slow on the In Convo With and the Schooled In series. There's lots of things going on at the moment, as I kind of alluded to last week. So some news coming on that over the coming weeks. But yeah, I'm going to take it easy for a few weeks. Probably come back to it in maybe a couple of months' time. We'll see if we can find some more willing participants of In Convo With and get that series back up and running again to its former glory. So, but for now, we're going to stick with the Jonnychipz Weekly episodes and whatever else I manage to get through in my spare time with the blogs and other YouTube bits and pieces. But yeah, quick whistle-stop tour this week. Not a huge amount of announcements, not a huge amount of community call-outs. It's been still quite active in the community, but I think there's been lots of in-person news groups going on, which have been cool. So yeah, anyway, let's head on over. Let's see what we've got this week. Okay, so first up, just wanted a quick shout out to Heiko Bren. Heiko is running another Ask Me Anything session today. That's 4 p.m. BST today with Marcus Hip. So all things PowerShell automation, community. If you're interested, go and join in on that. There's the link there to the YouTube session. Go and follow Heiko on the Twitters, Heiko Bren, and yeah, go and get yourself bookmarked in for that because yeah, he's a great guy in the community. Marcus, I've seen some of Marcus's sessions before now, and some awesome stuff. So go and get yourselves joined in. Get your questions ready as well if you've got anything specific around PowerShell or automation. Yeah, good opportunity for you to ask some very knowledgeable people in the community. So go and get yourselves aligned to that one. Big shout out to Shabazz, picked up on his book review session. Quite interesting now. He's gone over to The Ultimate Guide to Building a Google Cloud Foundation. So go and give that a little watch. He's been doing some great videos lately, Shabazz has, and this is, you can see it's episode 7 in his book review. So yeah, just giving you that little bit of a heads up in terms of what's good and what's not, or along those lines. So if you're interested, go and take a look at that and go and subscribe to Shabazz's YouTube, of course. So yeah, thanks for that, Shabazz. Next up, Lee is just as a reminder, really. Lee put together this fantastic tech community calendar, which can be found here, techcommunitycalendar.com. Just wanted to call out. Lee put this tweet out the other day, and it's always great to find awesome sessions, awesome events going on. And I just wanted to kind of remind everybody that Lee was curating all these fantastic events, and you can see. Today, there's effectively, 9 events going on today. You've got, I appreciate you can't reach them today, but the point is, these, you can see there's 47 upcoming events. So really go and take a look at it, and if you know of anybody with events, get them submitted to the site as well. So, so Lee can get them up on the tech community calendar. But you can see there's all sorts in there. If there's anything that kind of takes your fancy, there's great IoT and AI events as well, data events, all sorts of stuff. So go and get yourselves signed up. Or HashiConf is kicking off. That's LA 3-day hybrid conference. So you can see there's a lot going on. Great website. Go and get yourself signed up and take a little look. See. And obviously be reminded when there's some great events coming up and go and take part. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Lee. Much appreciated. Next up, of course, we're still in September. We're nearing the end of September, but still the content is coming through thick and fast from the team over at the Azure Back to School event, which of course this year is Dwayne Natwick and Derek Smith. They're taking a real good care of bringing and curating all this fantastic community content. Head on over to Azure Back to School .github.io. I think there is a I can't remember if it's a .com or a .co.uk. It's not going to be a .co.uk. I think it might be a .com on there. But anyway, azureback2school.github.io. You can jump on there, get a list of all the sessions, so you can see there that, there's, like I said before, there's some fantastic people from across the community there that have submitted some awesome sessions. We still got, a good week to go. This is early part of September 4th. So if I scroll down to today, which is the 23rd, we can see that today, if I can find it, there it is. We've got analytics in Power BI with R and Python and SQL Server 2019. We got some talks going off. Yesterday we had using and deploying Azure static websites, which is great. And before that, we had production scenarios with Azure Container App. So you can see there's a bit of content for everybody. So go and take a look at that. Join in, give some feedback. Go and subscribe to Dwayne's YouTube channel. So all the videos from all of the events are up here. Captain Hyperscaler on the YouTubes. You can see all the videos are there. You can go and get yourselves replaying those videos if you missed any of the sessions. But basically, go and check out what the session is, and you can see that actually the sessions that have been missed, the team have put the links there straight to the YouTube videos if you want to rewatch them. So some fantastic content, really worth going and checking some of that out if you haven't already. So yeah, cheers for the team for that organisation. Another quick announcement that I spotted the other day. So I've been using Bicep a little bit more just to get my head around it pretty much, and make sure I'm kind of keeping on top of things to a certain extent. And this came out last week, actually. I've been using Visual Studio Code to kind of write my Bicep files and things like that. But great to see that it's finally here. We've got the Visual Studio Code extension for Bicep, which you can download from the marketplace, which gives you essentially a whole heap of things. IntelliSense snippets. There's tab completes. It'll highlight errors and warnings in Bicep code. You can hover over text and it'll give you some information. Highlighting, colorization of the text, all of those great things. And there's also a fantastic getting started guide, a quick start guide, creating Bicep files with Visual Studio. And within there, it's just assuming essentially that you've got the plugin installed, which you can do relatively quickly. You can see that things like this now, if you type a VNet in a Bicep file, you get the option to bring in a resource, a VNet resource, which in a sense will just bring in all of this code snippet for you. And you can just modify the relevant parameters, like give the VNet a name, change the address prefixes, maybe carve the subnets up to something of your requirements. And, it's just such a helpful thing to have there. You don't have to go, onto websites, copying sort of sample code, pasting that in, or even trying to code it from scratch. It's really great in there. Parameters, you've got the ability to write parameters. It'll give you that kind of IntelliSense type methodology to say, right, okay, what kind of parameter do you want? A string, a value, a Boolean value, an array, anything like that. You can put your decorators in, things like minimum, maximum length of parameters. It just gives you that IntelliSense type methodology that you kind of, if you do any coding to any extent, you'll have seen this in the past with other coding languages. So it's fantastic to see that it's there with Bicep. So if you haven't already, go and give that a little look. See, get tuned in, and see how you get on. But that's it for now. Let's head back on over. Okie dokie, that was our community call-outs. Thank you for everybody and your awesome participation in the community, for everything that you give back. It really is appreciated. So hopefully I can spend a little bit of time and just kind of highlight some of the bits and pieces that have caught my eye over the last week. So appreciate everything people do. So let's head back on over, talk about what I've been up to. Jonnychipz, no, I won't. We'll talk about the Welsh Azure user group. Let's do that first. As he scrambles to find his correct page. What we will do, we're not going to talk about the Welsh user group. We're going to do Jonnychipz on the side. God, I'm in a hell of a mess this morning. Let's change that. So basically, like I say, it's a Friday. I haven't got new in convo with this week. Like I say, there's been lots of things going on in my daily life with work and home. All good, all positive stuff. Just enough to kind of sink a battleship at the moment, I think is probably safe to say. So what have been going on? So last Friday, episode 9 of When Ops Meets Dev. Great series. Really love sitting down with Robbie and Swami and talking through some of the the ways that the guys have gone and coded up, deployed an e-commerce solution, working with them to try and help identify bits and pieces of how that might string together, pros and cons of certain approaches. If you've missed it, they're all there on the YouTube playlist below. It's a very kind of holistic view, I think we've got. So we're trialing different methodologies, trialing different coding techniques, different deployment techniques, both on local machines, in the cloud, and it's all coming together. I think we're at the stage now, episode 10, which will be early October. We're going to be kind of doing a recap of the last kind of 9 sessions, really to try and show where we are and what's next. And we're moving into front-end development then. So we've got our back-end storage, we've got our APIs there, and we've got a bunch of microservices there that are kind of communicating with back-end MongoDB for storage. We've shown how all of that is fitting together, how we test, deploy it locally into a cloud, into a container app, into a Kubernetes cluster, using various different techniques, using Azure command line, using PowerShell, using Terraform. It's been a fun journey so far, so if you've missed any of that, go and check it out. So anyway, next one's early October. Go and check that out. That was an awesome lot of fun. Other things this week, got involved in the Tech Day event, putting the ops into DevOps. Seems to be a similar theme at the moment. Seem to be back in my little DevOps world, doing quite a bit with that at the moment. With April, Barbara, and Esther. It was a great event. Effectively, it was kind of semi-live in the sense that we had the video recordings, but then we were on live afterwards answering questions at the Q&A. There I am getting ready to go into it. And it was a whole heap of fun, really good fun, in the sense that I think we've got well over 3,000 views now on the YouTube. I put it in the playlist below, in the Cloud Family playlist below, if you want to go and check that out. It was a great, kind of session. I had some really good feedback from it as well at the end with a few people that have watched it. So, go and check that out if you haven't already. And finally, had a delivery last night, which has been fantastic, is the sense that I've been looking to get an Azure Bicep dev kit for a little while, got some bits and pieces going on with work at the minute, need to do some prototyping for some ideas, and got 2 delivered yesterday. So really excited to get started with those. And they actually come in 2 different packages now. So you have to order the Azure Bicep dev kit is effectively the compute unit and just the vision unit. And then you have to order the audio unit as a separate device as well, in case people didn't realize that now. So I think when they were first released, it came as a whole all-in-one thing. Now there's 2 separate packages. But like I say, really looking forward to having a little play around with that and doing some prototyping and some learnings. So there we go. Let's see what I come up with. I'll report back. Anyway, let's head back on over. Okie dokie. So there is the Jonnychipz on the side. Which bit should we do now? I think we will, quickly give you a quick update on the Welsh Azure Use Group, what went on this week. So yes, like I say, it was this week that we had the September event. Awesome event as usual. Really love getting involved with these events. But effectively, we had Muna, we had Joe coming on to talk about Azure Data Factory and triggers. Some awesome demos from Muna, some great theoretical and overview sessions with Joe. Together, they presented a fantastic session on Data Factory. It's always one of these things. Every time I watch a new session in and around bits and pieces around data, I've kind of personally deliberately kind of stayed away. I've done bits with data in the past, not anything to any huge significance, but conceptually understand things. But then when I see some of these demos, Muna was going through some great demos and showing some of the templates that were available for some pipelines. I thought, wow, I need to catch up. So there's some fantastic content in there. Video should be up by the time this goes out, but it'll be going up today if you want to rewatch that. But huge shout out to Joe and Muna for that session. Really good fun. And we also had Victor Hedberg on. So Victor joined us as well for the second session to talk about tiering and kind of that security tiering and layering of security principles in a cloud platform as well as on-prem, and how that kind of abstracts and moves into the cloud. Some really good advice, really good hints and tips, and kind of descriptions for how we should be doing that kind of tiering when we move over to a cloud platform. So from a security point of view, we all know that there's no silver bullet answer. It's about securing your environments up in depth, to a logical understanding and what's going on in your environment. You've got to try and work that out to a certain extent. But Victor goes a long way to giving some really good kind of hints and tips and absolute musts that we should be doing in our environments and things to think about as well. So if you're interested, go and check that out as well. Like I said, the video should be available by the time this weekly update goes out. So yeah, there we go. If you have missed any, like I say, check the playlist out below. All the Welsh Azure User Group sessions are below. The next event is on October the 19th. Not put up on the meetup just yet. Just waiting for one more person to confirm their attendance. And that will be going out. But yeah, for now, that was the Welsh Azure User Group. Oh, yeah, we did have an awesome thing as well, MS Swag. So thank you to Adam Jackson for giving us a voucher code to use as one of our prizes in our quiz. So look, some awesome access to some awesome swag. So if you've not seen him before, you could potentially get your hands on one of these bit cuddly toys. So yeah, join us next month, and we'll see what we can do. So anyway, just wanted to shout that out as well. Let's head back on over. Okie dokie. So there we go. We are motoring through. I think we are at the point of the show now where we can head on over and take a look at the news. So without further ado, let's go and do that. Hello. Yeah, and apologies if there was a funny echo going on there. I always seem to have little troubles with the old audio when I come to these points. I'm not going to go into and bore you with the details, but yeah, things change, and they change quite frequently. Okay, so we are on the Azure News and Updates for this week. Not a huge amount of updates for this week, but let's get stuck straight in. We'll kick things off with a GA announcement. There's new KMS DNS in Azure China Cloud. So, at the end of the day, this is the whole point around the key management services, to keep your operating systems active and things like that. There is a new KMS DNS in China Cloud. So if you are working with any customers, personally, I'm not nowhere near China Cloud, not used it, never have used it, probably unlikely to use it. I'm gonna take a punt. But if you are, there we go. 2 new KMS keys there for DNS servers anyway. Moving on, another GA announcement, Azure Ultra Disk Storage in Qatar Central. So if you are in Qatar, I don't know why I pronounce it Qatar, because I'm a bit of an idiot, I guess, but Qatar, let's get that right. So Qatar Central, Azure region, Ultra Disk Storage offers high throughput, high input-output operations per second, so those IOPS are high, and consistent low latency disk storage for Azure VMs. Ultra Disk Storage is well suited for data-intensive workflows such as SAP HANA, top-tier databases, and transaction-heavy workloads. There we go. Next up, there's an update. GA improved append capability on immutable storage for blob storage. Take a little look at this. Immutable storage for blob storage on containers, which has generally been available since September 2018, now includes a new append capability. So this append capability is titled Allow Protected Appends for Block and Append Blobs. Allows you to set up immutable policies for block and append blobs to keep already written data in a worm state to continue to add new data. This capability is available for both legal holds and time-based retention policies. So there's a link there if you want to know more. But yeah, great to see some of these advancements. Another one, GA immutable storage for Azure Data Lake storage is now available. We've got improvements to Azure Web Application Firewall custom rules. So if we take a little look at this one then. So on the WAF, so Web Application Firewall custom rules, there's new operators on regional WAF custom rules. So Azure Regional WAF Web Application Firewall with an app gateway now supports creating custom rules using the operators any and greater than or equal. So custom rules allow you to create your own rules to customize how each request is evaluated and pass through to the WAF engine. There's a link there for more information. And also, we've got geofiltering using socket address on global WAF. So if you're using Web Application Firewall on front door, it now supports geomatch filtering rules using socket addresses. So filtering by socket addresses allows you to restrict access to your web application by country region using the IP, the source IP that the WAF sees. If your user is behind a proxy, socket address is often the proxy server address. Again, there's some more links there to more information. Cool. Public preview announcements. Encryption scopes and hierarchical namespaces enabled on storage accounts. We've got a new public preview of customer-initiated storage account conversion. So this got announced yesterday. So Azure Storage is announcing the public preview of a self-service option to convert storage accounts from non-zonal redundancy, so local LRS, local and global RS, to zonal storage redundancy. So you can convert them from a user initiation, essentially, from LRS and GRS to that ZRS and GZRS. So this allows you to initiate the conversion of storage accounts via the Azure portal without the necessity of creating a support ticket. Good, great to see. And final public preview announcement for today, we've got expanded feature regional availability for Azure Netappa files backup. So the following regions have now been added. Great to see UK South is in there and Southeast Asia. So, so if you are using Azure Netappa files and you need to backup, then you've got additional regional coverage now available, essentially for us in the UK South, but also in Southeast Asia. And there's some more links there if you want to go and read up a little bit more about that. But there we go. That's been awesome. That's been our news and updates for this week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Let's head back on over. Okay, and you wouldn't hear that end note then. Yeah, back to my audio issues. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you've had a, like I say, a great week in work. Whatever you're doing for the weekend, enjoy. Have a great time. I'm just looking at my eyes. My eyes have gone all funny. It's too many bright lights, I think, around me. Yeah, whatever you're up to on the weekend, have a great time. Have a great rest of the week. And yeah, I will catch you all next week. But for now, I will see you soon. Bye for now.